Hey everyone, and welcome to the VitaCast, episode 20. I'm your host, Tyler Olthoff, and with me is Kyle Wakeling.
Hey guys, how's it going?
And Yuki doing the recording for us. What a pal. So, let's get this show on the road. Let's start with what we've been playing, and sadly, I haven't been playing very much because I've been so busy like usual. Hopefully that will change very soon because I've been getting frustrated with the lack of games I've been playing. But the main game I've been playing lately is Final Fantasy X, the remastered version, and it's amazing. I'm loving it so much. It's bringing back a lot of memories of when I was a kid playing it on PS2, so yeah. And then I played a little bit of Infamous Second Son on the PS4, which is amazing. And since I'm from Seattle, I'm like walking around like, ooh, I know that place. Ooh, look at this. Oh. And I'm not even playing the main story. I'm just so impressed by what they've done with the city and all that. So, yeah. What about you, Kyle?
Well, that sounds very interesting, Tyler. I've been doing some trophy cleanup. I played a little Angry Birds Star Wars, even though people friggin' hate that game, and I kind of hate it for the price that it's going at. Yeah. Played some Stick It to the Man, some Rayman Origins, and I've been grinding away at that Muramasa Rebirth. I finally completed the, I guess, like storylines, once for each of the characters. So
nice. That
was unique. And I've been grinding away at Hot Shots Golf. Got to get those trophies. And I'm going up for the Crowns and the Stars or trophy right now. There's two different ones, I guess. And it's quite a grind. I still have like 2 levels I think left to unlock, and now I'm doing like all the crowns, and they're just friggin' so hard. Like I played one level I think like probably 15 times today, just trying to get this like requirement or whatever to get this crown to get farther.
Jesus, how do you know what the crowns are? Like, did you just look online or something, or does it tell you in the game?
Well, if you get all the stars in the main game, so if you complete every like challenge in that main set, before like there's actually extra challenges that it doesn't show you, but before it like opens those up and shows you where those are, it unlocks like all the crown challenges for the different levels or whatever. So like once you like hover over like a certain level or whatever, when you're in that close-up mode, when you're looking at levels, it'll actually say right at the bottom, requires GIR, which is like I think it's green in regulation, which means you have to hit like the green in a certain amount of strokes in all levels to get the crown or whatever, or something stupid like that. So it tells you, but you have to get all the stars first in the main portion.
That game is ridiculously hard.
Yeah, it's a crazy platinum, and there's still some stuff that I really haven't done yet, like the double eagle. But I know where to do it, and I've tried it, and I've got really close a couple times, but it's just such a pain in the ass because it's like right in the middle of like this challenge, and there's no other way to do it, so you have to play halfway through the challenge to get to it. Oh man,
sounds
some of the
exciting.
stuff I do for trophies, man.
They've got you. You're addicted.
Yeah, they do. It helps that it's a great game too. Hot Shots Golf is friggin' awesome.
That is true. I don't think you'd be playing it much longer if you didn't like it.
Yeah.
Huh. Well, is that all you've been playing?
Pretty much. I dipped a little into PS3. I played a little House of the Dead with the Move. That was pretty cool. But other than that, yeah, pretty much.
Oh, nice. All right, well, let's talk about the new releases for what some games I probably won't be playing because I have no time.
All right, so there's some new releases. We only know North America at this point, so sorry, Europe, we're not quite up on you yet. They don't do the drop and all the other little tidbits that they give us beforehand in Europe like they do in North America, so we're kind of screwed with that. But anyways, new releases. So Deception 4, Destiny of Spirits, which is a free-to-play game, Dynasty Warriors 8 Extreme Legends Complete Edition, and Fez. And so far, we only know the price, I believe, on Fez, other than Destiny of Spirits, which is, of course, free. Fez is $12.99 US or $10.39 with PlayStation Plus. We've also got a PlayStation 1 Classic releasing, TNN Motorsports Hardcore, it'll probably be $5.99 like the other ones. And we have for PlayStation Plus Monster Hunter Freedom Unite, the PSP game, for free if you have PlayStation Plus.
So you needed to download that if you have Plus.
Yeah, definitely. And for demos, we've actually got Conception 2, Children of the Seven Stars, so you might want to check that out. And we've got app updates, so we've got Hulu Plus and Redbox Instant by Verizon updating in the US.
Oh, snap. Wait, so Hulu's coming today?
I guess, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Got some interesting games coming out.
New stuff, you can't complain.
That's true. I'm definitely going to have to try the demo out when I get the chance, because I already got the game pre-ordered.
Yeah, definitely.
So if I hate it, then that's going to suck. Oh, well. All right. Well, let's head on over to the news. We don't have a lot of news this week because we actually are here this week. We don't have to pile up our news like we did last week. So let's get this show on the road with the news. First up, Corpse Party, Book of Shadows is set to release in just a few short months in Japan. Picking up where the first game left off with protagonist Ayumi Shinozaki, Corpse Party Blood Drive will include exploration elements similar to those in the first game, except this time the game will be in 3D. Other returning characters include Naomi Nakashima, Maguri Misuki, and Ayako Niwa. I'm probably pronouncing those names all wrong, so I apologize if you are fans of the series. It has also been reported that Corpse Party manga artist Makoto Kidoen's work will be featured at the end of the game. Corpse Party Blood Drive is apparently around 70% complete and is set to release on July 24th in Japan. The standard edition will be priced at 6,800 yen or $67 US, and a limited edition is set at a slightly more hefty 8,800 yen or $87 US. And there's a couple more information or some more details about Corpse Party. Corpse Party Blood Drive takes place 2 months after the tragedy from the events of Corpse Party Book of Shadows, where Ayumi finds herself severely ill from the effects of black magic. Ayumi was saved by Naomi Nakashima, who was able to get her to the hospital in order to save her life. While hospitalized, a certain girl visits Ayumi, who claims to be a spiritual associate of her sister Hino. This girl then tells Ayumi that Hino wants her to retrieve the Dark Tomb, the Book of Shadows. After getting released from the hospital, a mysterious young man tells her that she can use that Book of Shadows to bring her dead friends back to life, spurring an adventure to the housing complex where her relative Makina Shinzaki once lived. And there's a couple screenshots if you want to check them out on the more details page of Corpse Party Blood Drive, so check it out. Next up, Freedom Wars characters and systems further detailed. So following the release details we posted just a short while ago, it seems even more information has been released regarding the characters and systems. First up, we'll take a look at the new characters they've given us information on: Elfried and Carlos. Carlos is much easier to pronounce than Elfried. Voiced by Nawa Toyoma, Elfried Sakamoto Cabrera is known as the Ultimate Battle Maiden. She's a young-looking girl with brown skin and short green hair. Not quite what you'd expect from the current champion of the Royal Round in a legal underground battle arena. Her last name is the same as the previously revealed Yui Sakamoto Cabrera, but the details of their relationship or lack of thereof is currently unknown. The other new character, voiced by Keiji Fujiwara, is named Carlos Theodosius Jinna, known as the standoffish hedonist. He's a criminal aligned with the Nog Panopticon, which is friendly with the hero's Panopticon partner. Standing as Yui's rival, this young, unkempt lad is bad company to keep around, opting to simply enjoy his life rather than focus on saving his fellow comrades or reducing his prison sentence. Moving on to the modes and systems included in the title, we take a look at the City-State War mode. In this mode, players are split up into 47 Panopticons, each representing one of Japan's 47 prefectures. Each of these Panopticons are competing to develop their areas, done so by gathering natural resources and invading other Panopticon prefectures. Successful delivery of these resources contributes to the development of the player's Panopticons, which, if developed far enough, can place other Panopticons under their control. Developing your Panopticon will also aid in unlocking different customization features for your Android partners, such as the text-to-speech options we've mentioned before. While details on the resources you need for development are still scant, Famitsu magazine reports that it seems that they'll be contributing towards parts for making artificial abductors. And speaking of artificial abductors, a new two-legged bombardment unit with the codename Kabuto has been introduced, sporting a weaponized body that can rotate about a midsection, which is installed above its legs. It appears to be highly mobile and is proficient at close-quarter combat. So yeah, that's a lot of news about it. Freedom Wars will be available in Japan on June 26th, and there's still no word of localization. Oh boy, they need to localize it.
Yeah, I know. We need to start like a localized Freedom Wars movement. Freedom Wars.
I'd be very, very, very disappointed this game never got localized.
I agree. They should. What they should do is when games come out like that, they should gauge interest. They should put out like a poll or whatever on like their international website or something like that asks people, "Hey, if this game like existed, would you buy it?"
Right.
And then if enough people say yes, bring it out.
Exactly. If it was that easy, Kyle.
Well, like, come on, like, you gotta get to the people. If you don't know what they want and you're just kind of guessing, hey, maybe they don't want this, or hey, maybe they do want this, you're gonna, disappoint some people. And if we get disappointed, we're going to be mad.
Yeah. Yeah. Well. Oh well.
Anyways, moving on. So next bit of news here. So Rogue Legacy details emerge. So Celador Games' designer Kenny Lee has said that Rogue Legacy is planned to be released on PlayStation Vita late summer this year. Rogue Legacy is a light roguelike platformer where players have to make their way through a procedurally generated castle. If you die, you come back as the next generation of characters' family lineage with better abilities to help in future playthroughs. So Kenny Lee also reveals that there are no plans at the moment to include new game content due to an already tight schedule. We wanted to add content, but honestly, the timeline that we've been given is making it really hard. That's unfortunately a last-minute priority. In an interview with Digital Spy at GDC 2014, designer Lee goes on to say that the Vita version will include platform-specific features. These features are due to be added between now and Rogue Legacy's release. Kenny tells us that one feature is that, quote, the Vita is going to have some touch stuff, but no details yet. We still have to go through it. We're not at that point. There's a lot of stuff Sony requires, so we'll have that stuff in there. We're not there in the porting process yet. They're still getting the engine fully working. Another issue discussed was whether the PlayStation versions, PS4, PS3, and Vita would feature cross-buy. It was revealed that it is something the developers are thinking about, but due to the cost of developing the game for each console, it may not be free across all PlayStation platforms. Mr. Lee goes on to explain this, quote, because our game was made in XNA and another studio is porting it, it's not like we made the PS4 versions, so now the PS3 and PS Vita are $0, they're actually really, really expensive. We're looking into it. We might do cross-buy, but we think we're going to do, if you buy a version for $15, we'll give you cross-buy for $20, but it's not like a $0 thing. Released on PC last year, Lee also reveals that the PlayStation version of Rogue Legacy will be filled with all the PC version's features, including the most recent update that added the boss remixes and the bug fixes that were not available with the original title. With the mid-2014 release date approaching for this interesting-looking platformer, be sure to check TVL regularly for any news on Rogue Legacy and its release date.
Oh yeah, I'm actually kind of excited for that game.
It's not my bag of tricks here, so I might not be interested, but you know,
you never know.
I gotta see it in action and see the final build before I really make my decision. Because some things have surprised me, and I've been like, "Holy crap, I need to have this."
Yeah.
Anyways, moving on here. So, Dragon Fin Soup coming to PlayStation. So, developers Grimm Brothers announced their debut title, Dragon Fin Soup, a classically styled roguelike RPG. According to a new post on the PlayStation blog, indie developers Grimm Brothers are bringing their very first title to PlayStation, including PlayStation Vita. A game about a young girl named Robin who lost her memory a year ago, where you journey with her as she rediscovers herself in the world around her. In the process, she learns more about her bloody past, the mysteries of Azura, the space turtle the game's set on, apparently, and even a twisted tale of betrayal and murder. Robin actually draws her inspiration from Red Riding Hood, though it's quite obvious that it's simply inspiration and not the entire character, especially when Robin is revealed to be an alcoholic bounty hunter, which I think is pretty awesome. Part roguelike and part classic console RPG with a persistent world and story. Dragon Fin Soup is said to play like a mix of Chocobo's Dungeon and Secret of Mana. Its story mode focuses on storytelling, character progression, and plays more like a classic RPG, while survival mode plays more like a roguelike and features permanent death. It's a turn-based game in which the player and their foes take on their turn simultaneously, and which allows for a more dynamic and fast-paced gameplay than other games of its type. So there's a trailer and some screenshots here, and keep an eye on TBL as we'll obviously be covering more about Dragon Fin Soup as that comes out in the future.
Well, nice.
Yeah, I think it actually looks pretty good. I'm interested in this one for sure. Yeah,
well, I'm in the same boat as you for, I forgot the name of the game you were talking about earlier. Yep. I have to wait to see more about it before I really think about it. But yeah, anyways. Next up in the news, new storyline and screenshots revealed for One Piece Unlimited World Red. So, yeah, announced for a release in Europe and Australia last week, Bandai Namco also unveiled a whole host of new screenshots and some artwork for the game, along with details of 2 new characters. The first character, Pato, or Pato, I'm just going to say Pato, a cheerful yet mysterious raccoon who possesses shadowy powers to create anything drawn into a leaf. And the Red Count, who had escaped the lower depths of Impelled Down 2 years ago. So not a whole lot about them, but just a quick little tidbit of what they are, who they are. With no confirmed release date as of yet for the game, the Vita Lounge will have all the updates and news regarding One Piece Unlimited World Red for you. Until then, here's a few screenshots, so if you want to check the news story, you can look at a few more of the screenshots we have on the site. So yeah, check that out. Next up, Titan attacks now attacking alone. Sadly, Curve Studio has hit a small bump in the road while on the way to releasing the Titan Invasion game bundle this coming May. The process of porting Revenge of the Titans to the PS3, PS4, and PlayStation Vita is taking slightly longer than they had originally anticipated. So to solve this problem, they have decided to break up the bundle and release each of the Titan games as a standalone release. Each game will be priced at half of what was originally planned, which is still unknown. So buying them separately should not cost any more than... Yeah, so Titan Attack will be released in early May, with Revenge of the Titans to come out on an unspecified date later on. Curve Studio first announced the Titan Invasion back in February. You can read the original story if you like. So yeah, that's unfortunate, but at least they're still releasing the games and they're not jacking the price up a bit. That way they can make more money, so that's always nice. But it sucks to hear that they're having problems with getting them out on a timely manner. Yeah.
Yeah. Alright, moving on. So, Red Goddess in search of funding. So, Yanam Studios is looking to fund their project Red Goddess through Kickstarter, and to bring it to the PlayStation Vita, they're going to need a little help. In this Metroidvania-style game, you play as a red-headed goddess named Divine, whose mind has been clouded and corrupted by an unknown enemy. She will have to enter her own subconscious in order to combat the terrors that are haunting her. The developers described Divine's inner consciousness as, quote, a planet within her own mind, covered in mountains, forests, caves, and untold dangers. Discovering who she is, who she was, and what she'll become is our quest, but we'll soon realize that there's more to this than we thought. End quote. So this game offers an interesting mechanic in which you can split the main character in half and take control of one of two emotional states, either fear or rage. Each emotion allows for a unique way of play and help in solving puzzles. So Red Goddess has a funding goal of $50,000, but in order to bring it to the Vita, E&M Studios is seeking $200,000. That seems like quite a lofty goal, but then again, nothing is impossible, seeing how our Vita community has come to the aid, I guess, of Kickstarters in the past and pushed them way over their limits. So there's a Kickstarter page and a trailer on the site. Check those out. Check out the game. Maybe you want to fund it, help us out a bit, you know? Alright, moving on. Final Fantasy X and X2 straight into the UK charts. So Final Fantasy X and X2 HD Remaster has had a brilliant first week on sale, launching Friday in the UK and storming into 4th place. Quite what the split is between the PlayStation PlayStation 3 and Vita sales, we don't know, but it's certainly a positive sign for fans of the series. Meanwhile, our own John is busy playing the title to death and will be reviewing each game soon, so stay tuned for that.
Yeah, loving the game.
Yeah.
It should be way up there on the charts.
You tell him, Tyler.
Yeah, I just did. Alright, next up, Farming Simulator 2014 gets a June release date. So Farming Simulator 2014 is yet another mobile port drawing from the iOS Android versions of the game instead of the PC version. However, this one will actually see a retail release. Improvements to the mobile port include a multiplayer mode, updated graphics, and the inclusion of animals, but the developer has told Push Square that the Vita version will have even more features come launch. The Vita version of the title will be worthy of its possible hefty price point of $26.86, and that's euros, I believe, according to
it's British pounds.
Oh, darn it. Pounds, according to the unconfirmed Amazon listing. So yeah, awesome. Farming Simulator, multiplayer mode. That could be interesting. This sounds like a title for Kyle. Anyways.
No. Like bashing my beat off my head, like, no, please make it end.
Anyways, another Lego game. Oh boy. Lego Ninjago Ninjroids has been announced. The second Lego Ninjago game is set to hit PlayStation Vita this summer, developed by Hellbent Games in partnership with TT Games. This latest Lego entry delivers a high-kicking, action-oriented gameplay experience based on the Lego Ninjago TV show and toy theme. Here's a quote from the press release. It's been over 2 years since we introduced our first Lego Ninjago game, and we are excited to bring the series back for our fans with Lego Ninjago Ninjroids, said Tom Stone, managing director of TT Games. He goes on saying, young gamers will have loads of fun playing as their favorite ninja, and we're introducing new characters and new villains. It's the ultimate ninja action game for kids. End quote. So yeah, Lego Ninjago Ninjroids is set to feature 30 action-packed levels which follow key plot points from the Lego Ninjago rebooted animated television series. In the game, the player must use special moves, combo attacks, and secret weapons like techno blades to hack into computers, solve puzzles, and defend New Ninjago City from the Overlord's Ninjroid army. There's a few screenshots if you like to check it out. Interesting. Well, I don't think I'll be getting it because these Lego people have been pissing me off with their Lego games lately. But that's just me.
Well, the only thing that might be its savior is the fact that I think this one is supposed to be developed only for Nintendo 3DS and Vita. So with the focus being on handheld, the quality might go up a little, being that it's for a handheld and that's what they're designing it for. But then again, they're designing it with the 3DS, so...
Well, okay, they made, I don't know if it was the same developer, but the people that made the Lego Legends of Chima or something like that, that was just for the Vita, the 3DS too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was actually like a decent game. Like it looked really good on the Vita. I only played it a little bit though because my ex-girlfriend had it, and yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, this is actually kind of cool, but I never continued playing it because it was hers.
Well, there you go. Might be good. Because, yeah, like the press release, I actually wrote that one. So the press release only stated 3DS and Vita. So no word of a console version. That means maybe they'll put a little bit more care into the handheld versions. I don't know.
Well, I guess we'll see. Don't convince me to buy another Lego game, Kyle.
Well, just wait and see first. You don't have to buy it like the day it comes out, you know. You can wait like a couple days. It won't kill you.
Kyle, that's stupid.
Yeah, I know, Charlie. You gotta run out and pre-order everything. Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna get taken and there's gonna be none left forever, so I might as well pre-order, right?
Yeah. Maybe the pre-order bonuses will get taken, but there's always games.
That's true.
All right, my turn again?
Yes, sir.
Alrighty, moving on. So, Beyond Two Souls costume DLC coming to Little Big Planet. So, according to the Little Big Planet website, we're getting some Beyond Two Souls themed costume DLC this week. So, do you have a seething desire to dress up like your favorite characters from Quantic Dream's latest title? This would be the perfect add-on for you then, as the main characters are included in this 4-costume Beyond Two Souls DLC. So we've got the Jodie Holmes Ellen Page costume, the Nathan Dawkins Willem Dafoe costume, the Cole Freeman Kadeem Hardison costume, and the Ryan Clayton Eric Winter costume. There's renders of those on the site, and they state that it's coming out today, I believe, in North America, which is Tuesday, and Wednesday in Europe, and it's going to be £4.79 in the UK, and you'll have to wait for pricing in the North American and European regions when the store updates, and I get those posts up, and John gets the European post up. So yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So moving on, one of the big news actually this week, PlayStation Vita firmware 3.10 is now live.
Woo!
So, yeah, awesome. Lots of new features, lots of stuff that they've changed. So I'll just go through them here real quick. We've got the home screen. You will now be able to display 500 icons or bubbles across your home screen. So, you know, that 100 bubble limit, you can forget about that crap. We've got 500. I don't think they make a card big enough to cram it full of that many games unless you buy every mini and PlayStation mobile game that they've made.
Challenge accepted.
Do it, Tyler. Fill that card. You have to get a 64 first, though, because that's what you have to fill, and then it's fair.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on. Messaging. You will now be able to exchange voice messages. So the PlayStation 4 has the same feature. You can exchange voice messages with your friends who are playing PlayStation 4.
Interesting. So I can yell at you on my Vita.
Well, I'm playing PlayStation 4, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, you can do that. Or vice versa, yeah. Apparently.
Oh, I'm so sending you a message.
Don't give this guy more ideas, Sony. Jeez. It's always bugging me one way or the other. Yeah, pretty much. All right, moving on. The parental controls, which are what Tyler's parents should have used to quell his dangerous mind. Now features the ability to restrict PlayStation Store access, and with the children's age guide for each level, it is easier to find the right level for your children. There's also an information guide for the Trend Micro web security that's been included, so that's nice. We also got a calendar, which Tyler could also use, along with an alarm clock, where you can create gameplay events with your friends and sync your calendar with Google Calendar, as well as invite your friends to share events by using messages and email. So that's pretty cool. That's a new bubble on your screen, so now that they've upped that limit to 500, they can give us new bubbles without everyone going, oh my god, we're going to run out of room. Moving on, Content Manager, you can check and manage memory card usage with Manage Content on Memory Card. I'm not actually sure what that entails. I haven't looked into that yet, but that sounds interesting. I'm going to have to dig into that a little more. In the music feature, you will now be able to search for content saved on a connected device, such as a PC. In the video feature, you'll now be able to sort content by size. In the photo feature, you'll be able to rotate screen automatically. It's been added to photos to control the tilt sensor for the rotation of images, and freeform has been added to the panoramic mode selection. So if you're taking panoramic pictures, I guess they have freeform mode now.
Now, can I send a panoramic voice message to you, Kyle?
I don't think that exists, but you can try and call it that if you like.
All right.
Just to satisfy your Tyler curiosity. Or, I don't know.
I will.
Yeah, you do that. Also, the last bit, settings, you can now adjust daylight savings time automatically. So there's a check mark or something for that. As well as 30 minutes has been added to the enter standby mode automatically. So you'd be able to change it to 30 minutes if you want to have it wait that friggin' long.
They need to add... Sorry to interject, but...
That's okay.
I don't think I have yet, but they need to make it to where your messages update automatically instead of every 15 minutes.
Yes, they do. They also need to update the messages system so that if I get a message on my Vita and then I look at it and then I go on my PlayStation 4, it doesn't show up as a new message. And it shows up on a new message on my PlayStation 3. And yeah, that's a pain in the ass. So sync your message red status or whatever the hell across devices. That would be nice. Cool. Yes. and yeah, it'd be nice if they had push or, every 5 minutes or something like that. So you're not, waiting or hitting the refresh button to try and get new messages.
Yeah, this is 2014, Sony. Come on.
Yeah, come on. Phones have it, for frig's sake.
Oh, dear Lord.
Speaking of phones, I think that was his phone alarm going off there.
That was my phone alarm. I gotta turn that other one off real quick, because another one will go off in 5 minutes. Tell me to wake my ass up for work.
Gotta wake your ass up for the podcast.
Well, I have different alarms for that, so...
I need more alarms.
I need like
one of those ones that shake the bed.
There we go. I think I just need a whole room full of clocks that just will just start going crazy when it's time to record.
Oh, you need one of those ones where it's like a helicopter, and then it launches the helicopter and it flies around the room, and you have to put the helicopter back on the pad before it'll turn off.
Oh,
that would totally get you up.
I would hate that.
Or one that shoots darts at you or something. That'd be cool.
There we go. Just torture me to wake up.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
All right. Is that all for the update?
That's all they listed, although we were just talking about this before the podcast. It looks like they've updated the theme on the PlayStation Store on the Vita as well. Looks like they've gone with a darker theme. Don't know why, but it looks a little nicer, so I'm cool with that.
Yeah, I think it's probably to match the PS4 a little bit. It's what it seems.
Yeah, I think they should just redesign the menu to look like the PlayStation 4 menu. But then they should also fill it out more, because the way that the PlayStation 4 menu is kind of counterintuitive.
Yeah.
It looks nice, but it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Yeah. It needs to be more like the online store or whatever, the Sony online store.
I agree.
Yeah.
Alright, so moving on. Killzone Mercenaries Bot Zone due sooner than planned. So it appears that Guerrilla Cambridge's long-awaited bot zone mode for Killzone Mercenary could be just days away. Laura Dillaway, senior environment artist for Guerrilla Cambridge, posted a tweet earlier Friday morning hinting that a release date had been set for the mode. This is her tweet quoting, "Morning, Killzone Mercenary Bot Zone fans. Good news. There is a date, and I am happy to say that it is coming in the very near future." So that was posted on Friday, and then this was followed up yesterday when Laura was asked if there was any more news on BotZone update, to which Laura replied, "I can't say much, but honestly it's a matter of days, not weeks. I imagine there will be an official announcement soon." So awesome. If you're interested in BotZone, playing your game offline but still being able to play the multiplayer maps, this is what you need. So hopefully that comes out soon. Test it out and see if it's good.
Yeah. I kind of had a feeling it was coming after they accidentally slipped it into the PlayStation Store update, and then Like, it didn't actually come out on the PlayStation Store, but it was, like, listed in the update for Europe.
Yeah.
And then they retracted it. So I had a feeling they were, like, you know, a couple weeks off or whatever when it showed up there.
Yeah.
You know, somebody was thinking about that and just wrote it, and they were like, "Oh, damn."
Yeah, people make mistakes, Kyle.
Yeah, I guess.
Well, hopefully it's pretty soon. Maybe it's already out, and we just don't know it yet.
Yeah.
Could be out today. But don't quote me, because then again you'll know, because this will come out after the store updates. You're like, no, Tyler, it did not come out today. You jerk.
Okay, so if you didn't gather from that, just blame Tyler. If you have any qualms about whatever, just blame Tyler. It's at Mr. PS Vita Reviews on Twitter, so just blame him.
Just keep in mind, I will forward everything to Teflon Tactics. That's at Teflon Tactics.
You jerk.
All right, next up, Mine Zero new details. We get a closer look at the Mine Zero after Spencer from Siliconera tests an early build, posting his thoughts for us to dig through. The name of the article gives you a pretty good idea of what the game is like, especially if you're a fan of the Persona series of RPGs. It looks like Persona 3, but plays like Persona 1, is what Mine Zero is described as. Let's take a closer look at why. So, here's a pretty important quote regarding the different aspects of attack and defenses you must juggle in battle. Quoting, "Mines are more like parasites that are fighting for control of your body. The more you use a mind, the more it consumes you. I found when I played a little bit of Mine Zero, I was totally dependent on the mines. Mine Zero lets you fight enemies either as your character or with your mind. Key, isn't that effective on his own, and he only has a fraction of his mind's HP. When your mind is summoned, it absorbs damage, but if it's knocked out, Key takes the full hit. Minds also deal more damage and give you access to techniques. So why bother using your human form at all? Well, if a mind runs out of MP, short for mind points, you cannot summon your mind. If you want to use techniques, you need to stock TP or toilet paper. No, I'm just kidding. Technique points. And in human form, you can use charge to stock those up. The catch is in human form, you're vulnerable, and if your LP life points run out, your character is dead. When I fought Baraku Gate, a boss with two demonic creatures stretching out of a door, I juggled these three stats. First, I switched to human form to charge, and back to my mind when I had enough TP to dish out a heavy attack. Mines have one more ability, Burst, which lets you do 2 attacks in a row. When you execute an attack, that the camera pans backwards so you can see your characters strike even if they're human. Mine Zero has elemental attacks, but in the short time I played the game, I think the basic strategy was knowing when to charge and reactivate your mind, end quote. So it sounds like a lot like Persona-style battling systems that have been augmented to be more dependent on the symbiotic relationship between the mind and the person, rather than the Persona's heavy lean towards Persona use. The amount of HP between the supernatural element, or the Persona or mind, and the human has been reversed as well. As in Mine Zero, the supernatural element has more life, and in Persona, it's the human counterpart. Spencer also goes on to say that Mine Zero is a first-person dungeon crawler, making it feel more like the first game in the Persona series instead of the more modern entries. He adds that the build he played had English text and voiceovers prepared, but a representative from Axis told him that Mine Zero will include an option for Japanese voiceovers as well. So yeah, Mine Zero is currently set to release this spring, and we'll have more information as it becomes available. Is this a game, Kyle, that you're interested in?
Yeah.
That sounded very confident.
I don't know.
Is it kind of on the fence for you?
Yeah, like, I think it looks really good, but I'm really waiting for, to see that, first 15 minutes of gameplay or something like that comes out in English and see if I like it.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Like, Persona really grabbed me, and Ys Memories of Celceta really grabbed me, and like there's a couple of RPGs that I've really taken to, but I'm not all that big of an RPG guy, so it has to be something unique or something with a hook that gets you.
Yeah. I've heard that it hasn't had very good reviews though in Japan. Like it's been very mediocre.
Yeah.
So
Well, we have different tastes in Japan, so you never know.
that's very true. Who knows? We'll have to wait and see. Hopefully it's good.
Hopefully. You know we'll be covering it, so you'll find out.
That's very true.
All right, moving on. So 5PB has announced that they are set to publish Tokyo New World Record Operation Abyss. The game, a dungeon-based RPG, is now scheduled to release in Japan on July 24th. So developed by experienced Tokyo New World Record Operation Abyss was originally due to be published by Cyberfront until they dissolved their gaming division. The game is set in the same universe as Labyrinth Crossblood Infinity. As of yet, there's no word of Tokyo New World Record Operation Abyss receiving a Western release, but as soon as any news regarding this title occurs, we'll obviously be there to keep you posted. Alright, moving on. More character details for Trails in the Flash 2. So Falcom has revealed that 2 sub-characters from Legend of Heroes Trails in the Flash will be making an appearance again in the sequel Trails in the Flash 2 as playable characters. So Tovar Randoner and Claire Rivelt will be expanding on their roles from the first game. Tovar Randoner. Tovar is a 27-year-old fighter for the Bracer Guild who fights to end conflicts in the Empire as well as to try and reform the guild. Falcom describes him on the game's website. Quote, Tovar spends his days as a fighter working for the Bracer Guild, a private civilian support group for the Empire spread throughout the entire continent dedicated to things like conflict resolution and investigations. Given that his options are limited for actually working as a fighter within the Empire, he teams up with a group of people including Sarah, an old co-worker, who works with him to reform the guild as they keep going about their day job. While he knows his way around a weapon, what he's really known for are his custom orbment techniques, which allow him to quickly shoot off his arts. Having already known Rianne and company from the previous game, he encounters her again, having since been left all alone for reasons unknown, and opts to work with her as well. There's some screenshots and renders here. And then moving on to Claire Rivelt, also known as the Ice Maiden, is a 24-year-old captain in the Empire's army. She is the best they have, and this time the military beauty finds herself in civilian clothes as she takes on a covert mission. This is also from the Falcom site. Quote, she operates as a captain in the Empire's army and is highly renowned for being the best they have. Her appearance, coupled with the ability to make quick decisions on how to Imperial troops stationed throughout the rail lines nationwide, has earned her the nickname Ice Maiden. She was under direct supervision of Prime Minister Osborne, but failed to prevent his assassination at the hand of terrorists at the end of the last game. She also met Rianne and the others in a previous game, having swapped information with them, and ends up helping her out again as she engages in a covert mission in which she dresses up as a civilian. So Legend of the Heroes Trails in the Flash 2 is slated for release in 2014 on the PlayStation Vita and PlayStation 3. Special thank you to Jamatsu for their excellent Japanese translation of the Falcom website for that bit. So there you go.
Yay.
Yay. You excited for that one, Tyler? Trails in the Flash 2?
Kyle, if it was coming to the West, I'd be very happy.
You never know anymore, Tyler. You got to keep those hopes up, and you just got to keep asking for it.
You know,
maybe it will come.
I'm trying. But it's been a hard road.
Yeah, I know it's been a hard road, but read this next post and then you'll know why you gotta keep asking and trying for these things.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Yeah.
Hatsune Miku Project Diva F2 is coming west. Oh my god.
Yeah. God goes wild.
So, remember that Project Diva F game we just got a few weeks ago? Well, it seems to have garnered enough attention and purchases to warrant them bringing the second one over as well. It's official, guys. Project Diva F2 has been officially announced for release in North America and Europe later this year. So yeah, there's a big old quote here. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but if you want to check it out, look at the story, and you can watch a trailer and see if you're interested. If you like the first one, I'm assuming you'll like this one. I'm not really much of a Vocaloid person myself, but it's always good to see games that are very Japanese making its way to the West. Because, like Kyle and I were talking earlier, we want these other games to come west, like Freedom Wars, like Sword Art Online, and Trails in the Flash. Trails. Is it Trials?
I believe it's Trails in the Flash. Tyler.
Trails. I always get them mixed up. I can't read, so don't judge me. All right. Well, yeah. Good news.
Just a little bit from that quote that you skipped over that was maybe important is yeah, I gotta interject. It's a little bit important.
Okay.
So everyone was complaining about the Western release of Project Diva F not having a physical release. Well, fret not, because they have listened, and now they're bringing Project Diva F second to the West with a physical release in both Europe and North America. So eat that. Think it's never coming? You think, you don't make a difference? Well, they listen.
That's true. That's very good news.
Yes, it is.
All right. Well, that is it for the news, but we do have a talking point here that we'd like to discuss for a bit. We got actual footage of Borderlands 2 at GDC 2014. So it's a good 4-minute video of a guy playing some BL2. And sadly, there's no audio because, he's just using a camera, so they didn't plug it in or use any audio recording to capture the game's audio. But we got to see footage, which is always very nice. And Kyle, you're not super interested in it, but does this catch your attention at all?
See, I don't know. The game doesn't really catch my attention as a game. I don't know, maybe I'll play it on Vita just because, other people are going to be playing it that I know. But other than that, I'm not really sure I'm going to be into it. Just, I don't know. It combines two elements and it does it in a way that I'm like, either be this or be that. Just do one thing, kind of.
Yeah, I got you.
Either be an RPG or be a first-person shooter. Pick one. But you never know. I change my mind sometimes.
Yeah.
As for how it actually looks, I think it looks really good as far as visuals and what they've done with it to make it look, true to the original, but still good on the Vita, I guess. The whole, frame rate, blah, blah, blah. It's not finished product, so it's not going to be perfect. And as well as that, a lot of the slowdowns, it seems, happen when it's loading like a new area or something like that. So doesn't seem to be that big of a deal to me, but we'll see, I guess, when the final product comes out and how big of a backlash it is when people are glitching and whatever.
I just hope that it's well built enough to where other developers see, like, holy crap, the Vita can do this. Let's get our games on there. Like, how awesome would it be if, like, Skyrim or Fallout was on the Vita? Something like that. That'd be crazy.
Yeah, it would. There's a lot that we talked about in that genres the Vita is missing article I did back a couple days ago. That has completely to do with that. Like, there's a lot of stuff that we're missing on the Vita, and like this kind of fills a weird gap that niche games, that whole treasure hunting kind of thing with the first person shooter. I guess people really like it, and there's like big reception to Borderlands and Borderlands 2, so we'll see how it does. I guess it depends how much love they put into it and whether they're going to support it as well as, say, Guerrilla Cambridge has supported Killzone. That remains to be seen, so we'll see.
Yeah, hopefully they support it, and hopefully, I can't think of the developer. Do you know who the developer is? I forgot their name.
I believe the ones who are porting this one are Iron Giant Games.
Right. Oh wait, I thought it was Iron Galaxy. Maybe, I don't know. Anyways, hopefully they...
IGS.
Yeah, hopefully they do a good job so they can get more games and bring them to the Vita, because, yeah. They seem like a decent developer. They're the ones behind...
Dive Kick.
Yeah, that one. And that was a fun game, so...
Yeah,
hopefully.
I had lots of fun with Dive Kick.
Yeah. This will be a good lounge play game, too. Wink, wink, Kyle. Wink, wink.
Yeah. We'll see.
All right, well... let's head on over to the listener mail if we have any. Do we have any, Kyle?
We do have some listener mail now. So
oh, boy.
Day is saved. So these are all from Twitter because we didn't have any listener mail, so I went to our Twitter users and was like, hey, what do you want to know? So here's what they want to know. Supersmith Games at Supersmith2500 asks, what do you think of the new system update for Vita that increased the app limit to 500?
All right. Very simple question then. Well, since I just updated it, I haven't really dove into it too much, and I haven't even hit the 100 limit, but I'm very happy to see it because there's a lot of people that complain about it only having the 100 app limit. So the fact that they listened and took action quick, even though they should have had it way up there at the very beginning of the launch of the Vita. But yeah, it's nice to see that. That's always good when they do positive changes.
It's just another case of them listening, I guess. People have been saying forever, raise that limit, 100, what are you doing? Especially with like the 64 gigabyte cards.
Right.
And especially with people having like huge PlayStation 1, PlayStation Mobile, PlayStation Mini collections, they can hit that limit very easily. And the only thing that I have to wonder now that we've hit this 500 limit, I guess, that they've given us, is if you could give us 500, why did you set it at 100 in the first place?
Right. Yeah, it's probably just something that was on their list that they didn't have time to get to when the Vita was launching and all the other stuff they wanted to add. So, but it's here now, so no more complaining.
I don't know. It's just kind of funny because if you can go all the way from 100 to 500, where did you get all that extra room from? And if you didn't need extra room or whatever for it to like go, then why wasn't it like that in the first place or updated quickly?
Right.
I don't know. Just kind of odd.
I gotcha.
And really, like from a computer standpoint, it doesn't seem like it would need more room unless they're loading like completely different profiles for all these apps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully people won't complain. If I start seeing people complain about 500, I'm like, what are you downloading, sir?
I really don't think, like, the Vita library is pretty big, but the cards aren't big enough, I don't think, to warrant anyone hitting 500. I don't think you could hit 500 with
Kyle,
the cards up.
I already said challenge accepted.
Well, do it and prove me wrong, Tyler.
I will. I'll just download all the mobile games and all the mini games and all the PlayStation 1 games, and boom, 500 hit with memory to spare.
I think you're going to hit the limit before that. I don't think the majority of them are small enough to give you under that limit. I think you're gonna hit it.
Even with the 64 gig?
Yeah, I think even with the 64 gig.
Interesting. Well, maybe.
And accept my challenge and do it and prove me wrong, and we'll write a post about it.
I think I'll be spending over $500 just buying all the stuff that I need to test this.
Definitely.
So I don't think I will. But if someone else would like to do that, feel free to let us know what happens. All right. We got any more?
All right. Coming here from Charzars at Charzars on Twitter. Any screenshots or anything leaked for Minecraft on the Vita? Not that I know of.
Yeah, not that I know of. I'm sure if any of that would have happened, you'd see that right away on the site. So.
Yeah, that's a pretty big one. I don't think it would be, even if it released on a small site or something like that, it would pretty much explode to everywhere within minutes. I don't think you can hide that. So, since you haven't seen it, and since I haven't seen it, I'm going to say no. Moving on here, Sammy Slimani at SSlim92 on Twitter asks, do you think Gorilla Cambridge will make another Vita game after the layoffs they've been hit with? So, if you don't know, there was a bit of news earlier today. Gorilla Cambridge, I believe it's Sony Santa Monica Studio, and another studio have been hit with layoffs. So, a little bit of restructuring and stuff going on there. I don't know really what they're planning, but they've said it won't affect, I believe, Drive Club and other support that they're giving. So we'll see.
Yeah, who knows really? But this happens a lot with the video game industry of people, after a game's out and stuff is done, they just start, like Kyle said, restructuring and stuff like that. So I'm sure we'll see something, hopefully.
Yeah. We could definitely see something. Now that they have the experience, I could see somebody saying, hey, make another game, or bringing a project to them, or even them doing a port really well of something would be cool.
Yeah.
So we'll see in the future. They aren't written off yet.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. I think that's it.
All right. Well, thank you, everyone that sent us some questions. Remember, we do have an email, podcast@thevitalounge.net, if you'd like to send us some questions. But if Twitter is the best way for you, you can keep doing that. All right, so let's head on over to our game recommendation of the week. And this week, Kyle has it. So what do we got this week, Kyle?
All right, so I'm not 100% sure of this, but we talked it over, and I'm about 98.6%. We'll go with that. That percent sure that I haven't chosen Ollie Ollie yet. So for this week, I'm choosing Ollie Ollie as my game recommendation of the week. It's cheap, it's fun, you can play it over and over again and it never gets boring. And they're hopefully fixing the issues that are happening with it with the online mode. So it's a good time now to get in when it's hot and everyone's playing it, and you can compare scores, and they're about to fix it. So get in there.
Yes, I agree very much. The game is awesome.
Yeah, it's a perfect melding of two different concepts: the whole sport skateboarding concept and the whole runner concept, and trying to get the biggest score and not fall or whatever.
Right.
Perfect melding creates a game that you just want to play over and over again.
Yeah, it's actually quite challenging. Like, when I first started playing it, I was just like, oh my gosh, this is going to take some practice. But then when you start, like, when you figure it out, it's like, all right, this is crazy awesome, and now I'm really good at it. It's like, you feel good whenever you do tricks. And that's, like, the best part about skateboarding type games, is when you land a trick and you're like, yeah, I'm a badass.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I had the same issue. Like, starting out, I was like, there's no way I'm going to get to, like, the end of this game. But after you get into, there's almost like a rhythm to a lot of the grinds and jumps and stuff. After you get into that rhythm, it's like cake. You can get to the end of the level, and then you just add tricks in and, try and link your stuff together to get those high scores.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great game. Go get it.
Yes,
and plus,
go.
It's coming to PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 3. So, something to think about.
Yeah. Hopefully that will give them developers more money to bring another game to the Vita, because they've talked about it.
I agree. I'd like to see something else out of Roll 7. I would definitely support something if they threw it down my genre lane, I guess.
Yeah. All right. Well, that is all we have for this week, so let's get out of here. You can check out all the news stories that we talked about on the VitaLounge.net. Don't forget to find us all on Twitter. I'm at Mr. PS Vita Reviews. Kyle's at Teflon Tactics. And Yuki is at Yuki_WR. You can also find us on Facebook. Just search the Vita Lounge. And don't forget to join our forum, get in the conversations that we have, and see what's going on. Also, our lounge play has been absent for a bit. My fault. I apologize. But hopefully we can
Tyler likes to sleep in.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we can get that going. We're thinking Friday at around 12 p.m. and that's Pacific time, so that'd be 3 Eastern.
3 p.m. Eastern, and I don't know when the European clocks change, but if they haven't changed by then, it's 4 hours plus that. So
okay, so that'd be around 7.
Yeah,
7 p.m. All right, so yeah. That's what we're planning for, so if you want to get in that, I think we're going to do Killzone and Hot Shots Golf. Is that what you want to do?
Yeah. I've
right.
been practicing Hot Shots Golf, so bring it on, guys.
Yeah, so if he loses to us, then we can all laugh at him. So.
And I can just throw my Vita and never talk to you guys again.
Yeah, I'm going to make him throw his Vita.
Oh, God.
Yeah. So, yeah, feel free to join us for that, and we post those on YouTube every time we do them. And, yeah, thanks for listening to this week's episode. I hope you have a great week. Go play those games. Bye.
Bye.